tomorrow's schedule is as follows. Last day of this retreat. So we will have, as usual, 6:30 to 7:30 Kathopanishad class, and 8:15 we will have this class. We will not have meditation. We will have this class, maybe a longer class, we'll see. And then we will close the camp. Hard to tell when, maybe 8:15 to 9:30, 9:45, we can close the camp. And I'm sure you have, yeah, we can have 9:45 itself. Because once people go, it's hard for them to come back. So, yeah. Yad gatva na nivartante. Yad gatva na nivartante. Everybody carries their own water. So, no problem. And valediction need not take much time. We can ask Swamiji to come and then. Yeah, you talked already. So, 9:45 we can do. Okay. Yeah. She will fill you in. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vakpranashchakshushrotramatho balamindriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahma upanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam mama brahma nirakarot anirakaranamastva nirakaranam me astu तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्म स्ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So we saw how the situation has unfolded. For who? Mumukshu. Very good. Yeah. Don't say trader. Yeah. Who is Mumukshu now? Previously was what? Trader, giver, taker, feeling obligated. Like, oh, this is my job, I have to do this, otherwise somebody will feel bad. And then taker, meaning I am owed this, I have to get this, otherwise I have, these other people will fool me. And then the person who is busy in the world. Businessman means, yes, busy without business. That is the businessman or businesswoman. So busy without business, spinning the wheels all the time, but nothing to show for it. What do you mean nothing to show for it? There is so much money. That's not our wealth. What is our wealth? Our wealth is moksha. So moksha being the wealth, there is nothing to show for it. You go here, you go there, what do you get? A big headache. You go somewhere else, you do this, you do that. There is a lot of missing the way. That is the whole idea, missing the way. So where was this person? Gandhara. What is Gandhara? The Upalakshana for Om. Gandhara is Om. Om is Gandhara, and then Om is the one that one has to be with, metaphorically. Because Om is home. Yes. Om is home, Om is a place where you don't have to perform, where you don't have to look. It is home. Why? Because you are totally at home. You don't have to perform. It's a place you don't have to look for validation. It's a place where you are not worried whether somebody is approving of me or not. It's a place, in other words, where you feel safe, where you don't feel judged, and where you feel happy all the time being exactly who you are without the accoutrements of so many things. It is only when you go out the problem comes. How do I look? When had I worn this outfit before? Who will recognize me? And it's hard to keep track of unless you're a celebrity with, 3 bedrooms used as closets. And then also they have problems. They have so many problems. They need a life coach to tell them what to wear because they don't know, they are confused. And then you have to be worried about wardrobe malfunction. Does what I wear on top match with the pant? And does this match with that? Does it match with the theme of the party I'm going to? Staying at home is not the problem because you can just hang out. That's what it's called, hanging out. So you hang out completely with Om because why? It is your place. You don't have to play dress up. You don't have to play give take. You don't have to say please. You don't have to say I'm sorry. In other words, no guilt, no hurt place. That is home. That's what really a home should be. A home is a place where you feel yourself. You feel like you belong. So when there is belonging, there is no longing. You feel as though you belong, there is no longing, and you feel happy being who you are. There is nobody to deal with, which is why you feel like rushing home sometimes because let me just go to my room and close the door. That's what you feel like because once you're in the room with the door closed, you don't have to deal with anybody. You don't have to walk on eggshells. You don't have to worry about their feelings. You don't have to worry about what they will say. Some kind of dysfunctional connections, relationships, you don't have to worry about. Why? Because you are one with Om. Just like that, how you are at home in your home, same place, your spiritual home is what? Om. Even this body, which is regarded as a home, as Adi Shankara is going to point out, it is fraught with danger. It's a hotel room where you have been automatically checked in. That's all it is. And you don't know, mercifully, you don't know the checkout date. You're just there in the hotel room. It's just a place to stay. That's all it is. A place to stay, a place to get the knowledge also. Very, very important to understand this and to know this. So, therefore, this Om, the question comes, it's easy to see in the story how this fellow was kidnapped. Maybe he was locking up his shop and going home, and he was set upon by robbers who saw him do that, who knew that at the end of the day, the money will not be in the shop, the money will be with him. And so they robbed him, and then they tied up his eyes and hands and legs and threw him at the mercy of the forest. That is easy to see how that happened. How did this happen? How was I evicted from home? I was evicted from home by the robbers who kidnapped me, took me away, or on the way home I was evicted. But how was I evicted from Om? If you ask that question, Om is Bhagavan, Nirguna, Saguna, everything. If that is my home, Ishvara is my home, and I am one with Ishvara, how was I evicted from there? How did I fall? What is the cause of this? চ্যুতি. How did I fall from there? The answer to that is what? You did not fall from there. I did not fall from there. No, you did not fall from there at all. Then what happened? How did this happen? What happened? What happened was that you thought you were robbed. You thought you were robbed of your sanity by samsara, by just the very fact of being in this body. You thought you were robbed by Atma Ajnanam, and you thought you were robbed of your resting place, which is Sat, which is home, which is you. But has that really happened? No. So, in our story, in this story, as we interpret this story, as we go into unfolding this story, in our story, what is the truth? The truth is that I have had a bad dream that I was abducted and evicted from Ishvara. I have been banished from Ishvara. That is what? Anyatha Jnanam, my nightmare. I'm alienated from home. I'm alienated from Om, which is Ishvara, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam both. Nirgunam Brahma, Sagunam Brahma both. So, I'm evicted from Ishvara. I'm evicted from my own nature, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, because of the robbers. Who are the robbers? We can say Ajnanam is one robber, and who is the other robber? Anyatha Jnanam. Therefore, because of Atma Ajnanam, thinking myself to be what? Robbed, thinking myself to be not enough, thinking myself to be having a sense of want, having a sense of permanent lack centered on the self. This is who I am. This is the misapprehension. So, the misapprehension of my own nature is the kidnapping and the eviction into the forest. So, we have read one sentence from the text. Let us read the other one also. Where is that one? Yeah. So, sampadhyeta evam eva iha acharyavan purusho veda tasya tabadeva chiram yavat na vimokshye atha sampatsye iti. Yeah. So we saw the first part. Tasya yatha abhinahanam pramuchya prabruyat. So some kind-hearted person, what do they do to this fellow? They untie him from his misery of ajnanam and anyatha jnanam. And opening the blindfold is the upadesha. Neti, neti, you are not this, you are not this. See who you are. See who you are. That is the Upadesha. And pointing towards Gandhara, north stands for moksha. That is why Dakshinamurti faces south. So that you can face north. You can face north while facing Lord Dakshinamurti, who faces south. South is the kingdom of death, Lord Yama. And so south is a very scary direction to face because it represents ending. North, therefore, becomes moksha, opposite of that. And even in the Hindu vivaha, marriage ceremony, there is a ritual called Kashi Yatra, where the groom says in the middle of the wedding, just before the wedding starts, what does the groom say? The groom says, I have changed my mind. I'm not going to get married. I'm going to Varanasi, Kashi for moksha to study. I'm going to join an ashram. And then the parents of the bride and the groom scramble and they buy him off. This is how the modern ritual is, okay? They buy him off with gifts. He's given a set of clothes, he's given an expensive watch, he's given a fan in case he was hot-headed and, fanning off will cool him. He's given up a coconut which is wearing a velvet dress, and they do that, they make a velvet dress in the shape of the coconut and put sequins on it and give it to him. What he's going to do with it, I don't know. But anyhow, so all this is given, and then they say that please come back, don't stop the marriage. So, as a young child, when I used to go to these weddings, I used to be furious. I said, "What's wrong with this fellow? What's wrong with this fellow? He's planning to go after doing this, and all the wedding, what is that? The whole accoutrements, all the celebration, everything, all the expenses are going to be wasted. And how dare he do that?" It was only after coming to Pujya Swamiji and then reading his book on the Hindu marriage ceremony. It's called Vivaha, the Hindu marriage ceremony. I understood its import. It's not that he's running away and he has to be implored to get married as though he's this special fellow who has to be served on all the life. No, he doesn't have to be implored to come back. He is just not even told to come back. He is told, please go, but take this beautiful bride with you, because the path of moksha, kshurasya dhara, nishita duratyaya, durgam pathaha tat kavayo vadanti. It's a razor's edge. You can't walk on this alone. Imam kanyam su alankritam. Gridnahi. Please take. So, please take her with you, because why? You're not the only one interested in moksha. She's also interested in moksha. And it is dangerous for one person to go alone. So, a few steps to the north symbolically are taken. And the sannyasa ceremony, this time you all got to see two of them. Very nice. And so, there also a few steps are taken by the people about to take sannyasa towards the north. Then they are called by the Guru, recalled. No, no, don't go, come back, be of use to the society. We need teachers, we need helpers, we need sevaks. Please come back. So the north represents what? Moksha. And the person's opening of the cloth is itself na iti. All the wrong notions. I am as good as the body. I am as good as the mind. This person doesn't like me. For that matter, I don't like them either. All these things are wiped out, and the person is made to see their own glory. This is what exactly is the teaching here. And so therefore so now the teacher comes in. Tasya gatha abhinahanam pramuchya prabruyat etam disham. What? Uttara disham. Uttara disham, this etam disham gandharaha. So your region is this side. Etam disham vraja, go this way. And what does that person do? Gramat gramam prichan. Going from village to village, asking, am I doing okay? Have I fallen off the wagon? Have I got distracted? Is this really the right way? Asking. Asking means what? Mananam. Removing of the blindfold, Shravanam. And by implication, Nididhyasanena. Yes, I'm on the right path. Iti thinking, the person, what does it do? What does he do? Reaches Gandhara. Then the Upanishad says, Evama, evameha, evam eva iha. Now here, in the context of the Darshtanta also what? Acharyavan Purusho Veda. So the person who knows has to be what? Along with Acharya. Without having Acharya, not only is it difficult to know, it is impossible to know your own nature. Because think of the fellow cast in the forest. Okay. So, and then there is a very intriguing statement from the Upanishad which confuses if you don't know what it is. Tasya tavadeva chiram yavat na vimokshye. It should be vimokshyate, sampatsyate iti. Okay, because it's in first person, it should be converted to what? Third person. Because it says tasya, for this person, tavadeva chiram. Tavadeva chiram means time gap. That much is the time gap, as long as the person does not give up the body. Because after knowledge, what happens? Does the body also go? Thank God. Yeah. Thank God the body doesn't go after knowledge. Otherwise, we would be in trouble. Nobody would come. We'll have to close down all the retreats because nobody is coming. Why are they not coming? Because what if I get enlightened? Oh my God, I got it. Finished. Yeah. then, then it would be terrible. Already so few people for Vedanta in general, and so therefore what? Therefore this would be Vedanta would be more dangerous than bungee cord jumping and then sky gliding and all these other hot balloon, what is that called? Hot air balloon riding. It would be dangerous than all three of them combined. Because at least their death is uncertain. You may or you may not die. You don't know. Okay, that's the thrill. But here, certain death. If you gain this knowledge, what will happen? Bye-bye. You become instantly one with Sat. Sat sampadhyate. What is Sat? That which was there before the Jagat. That Sat, Tvam Asi, Shvetaketo, that Sat which you are. When will I be one with Sat? Instantly you will become one with Sat. As soon as you know this, nobody will want to know. And besides, we have to see the long-term implications also. Who will teach? Because all the jnanis are what? Dead, gone, dead and gone. So if there is somebody teaching, who is studying? Who are you studying from? Ajnani. Who is studying? Ajnani. Andhenaiva niyamanaha yatha andhaha. Like the blind leading the blind. There won't be any teachers left. If there are no teachers left, there is no parampara left. If there is no parampara left, then there is no anirmoksha prasanga. Jnanam cannot take place at all. So therefore, the arrangement is what? The body continues. Why does the body, mind, sense complex continue? It continues because it was started before the knowledge took place. This is what is called prarabdha. Prak arabdham karma. The karma that started to be in operation. Meaning the karma that started to fructify is the karma that continues to fructify, and then after the fructification of this karma, when the body drops, one is one with Sat. Not that you are not one with Sat now, but one is one with Sat without the adjunct of name and form. That is what the Upanishad tries to tell us here. Okay, so don't overthink it. So in technical parlance, it's called Videha Mukti. First is Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti means what? I am free while alive. In fact, we don't bother about Videha Mukti. Because if I'm already free, what does it matter whether the Deha hangs around or hangs out or doesn't hang out? Doesn't matter to me. I'm already what? Not the body, not the mind, not the senses. I am Brahman, I know. So if the body were to remain, no problem. In fact, I can enjoy the body. No problem at all. I can enjoy the mind. And everything becomes as though. I have an as though body, an as though mind. I'm living in an as though Jagat. Because I am Sat already. So this is what is to understand. Videha Mukti is talked about when the Jnani drops the body. When the body of the Jnani drops, they say, oh, Videha Mukti means freedom from the body. This is what is being pointed out. Bhashya. So, one second, here it is, yeah. Tasya यथा just as अभिनहनं यथा बन्धनं प्रमुच्य मुक्त्वा कारुणिकः कश्चिद् एतां दिशाम् उत्तरतः गन्धाराः एतां दिशं व्रज इति प्रब्रूयात्. So just like when out of compassion, karunikah means the extremely compassionate one. Who is the extremely compassionate one? The one who saw this man writhing in the forest, yelling, screaming. And then in our exemplified, who is the extremely compassionate one? Daya Sindhu, ocean of compassion. Who is that? Guru. Guru, similarly, Guru knows that it's all imaginary, that the person is not suffering, not really blindfolded, not really bound. The Guru knows that there is no real bondage to speak of. Absolutely no real bondage to speak of. There is no bondage at all. And so, therefore, what? There is no need for moksha. And we have already told bondage is notional. Just like the guru and the shishya story with the cows. So many cows were there in an ashram, in a hermitage, and one shishya was looking after them, brought all the cows home to find out that the ashram had been robbed of all the rope. No rope to tie the cows. Got very, very agitated, ran to the guru. It was too late for ordering from Amazon. It wouldn't have come on time. So it had to be right now. He needed to tether the cows because his Vedanta lessons depended upon the cows being well looked after. His seva was that. So he had to tie up the cows, ran to the Guru in panic, and the Guru was cool as a cucumber. Oh, the rope is gone? Yeah. And so, therefore, what? Are there any snakes that you can use as rope? No. So, what did the Guru say? Don't worry, my dear fellow. Just pretend to tie them. Pretend to tie them. He said, what? Pretend to tie them. Yes, pretend to tie them. But being a very Ajnakari, obedient one, he pretended to tie cow number 1, cow number 2, cow number 100. All of them he pretended to tie, and all of them stayed there chewing the cud happily in their own places, not restless at all. Student said, wow, my guru has magic. Forget Vedanta, I have to get the mantra from him. Vashikarana mantra. He has a way to control all these cows sitting in his room upstairs, far away from the cow shala. That didn't come out right. Go shala. Yes, yeah. Gau is cow. Okay, in Sanskritam, gau. In English, cow. Okay. So from the Gaushala, Goshala, he's so far away, sitting in his kutia, he's controlling the cows. I need this mantra. Tomorrow morning I'm going to ask him. And then Guru slept nicely. The Shishya, red-eyed, every half an hour he's looking whether the cow has, at least one cow should have run away, 2, 3 should have found out that, I'm not really tied and wandered away. All of them are sleeping peacefully. Oh, Guru sleeping peacefully, snoring also. And then, who is not sleeping peacefully? Shishya. Next morning, he just blathers on. Guru, this mantra, wonderful. Oh, teach me this mantra. Guru says, shut up and bring me my coffee. Forget this mantra, we have to start the day. Then he goes and he says, come on, cows. Come on, girls and boys, let's go to the water. Not one moves. And he gets impatient. I don't have time for these games. Takes one stick and then prods them from this side, like this. The cow takes the beating and goes this side. Then he prods it from this side and it goes this side. All of them are doing this. They are not getting up. Whole time they're sitting there, going from the left, swaying to the right, swaying to the left, moving in protest. Whenever that ankusha, that cow, that prod, cattle prong, whenever the cattle prong is used, they just wince, but they are not getting up. Then he goes to the Guru, your mantra is very strong. Guru, release them from the mantra. You said we have a lot to do today. Idiot, mudha. Did you untie them? What? I never tied them. Go untie each and every one of them. I only pretended to tie them. Okay, says the exasperated Guru. What does he say? Pretend to untie them. The cow goes. The cow also is eager, thirsty, hungry, wants to go to the pasture. Each one is released. All of them run and go. And this is exactly how the bondage is. The bondage is not real, and therefore what? The release from the bondage is also not real. But to the person experiencing the bondage, our protagonist, abandoned in the forest, blindfolded, hands tied, legs tied, screaming, not knowing where he was, that is very real. Pratibhasikam. Pratibhasika. His own subjective reality becomes very real for him. And that's why the Guru is Paramakarunika. Paramakarunikena. What happened? That the bondage was released. There is no bondage to be released. That is why the Guru has to be over compassionate, because the Guru can easily say, "Are you out of your mind? I don't see any bondage. Go, shoo." Yeah, you're not a mumukshu, just shoo. Because there is nothing, you're not bound. So you don't have to be free. Go. Go peacefully. There is nothing to achieve. There is nothing to attain. And will that do the student any service? No. Because the student thinks, I am totally bound. And so therefore, the one who releases the one from as though bondage, while acknowledging that there is bondage, even when there is no bondage, so much compassion one has to have. So much compassion to enter into this pretend game of tying up the jiva. Tie up the jiva is a game, just like pin the tail on the donkey is a game. Tie up the jiva. You don't have to tie up the jiva ties itself up into knots. And so, Paramakarunikena, by someone who is extremely compassionate, what happens? So, Karunikaha, Kashchid Etam Disham Uttarataha, having released him and dusted the jiva off, points to the north and says, Gandharaha, Etam Disham Vraja iti Prabhruyat. This is what the teacher would say. This is what the compassionate person in the forest would say to the newly released person. So, released means Upadishta, Acharyavan, Upadeshavan. So, the one who now has Upadesha, that is why he is released from the bondage. Having been released, the destiny is pointed out. The destination is that way. Why? Because Satyam Jnanam Anantam is not directly understood. By implication, the words Satyam Jnanam Anantam are signposts that point you there, and you go there and are repatriated with yourself, as it were. So, to show that that is why the Guru doesn't handhold him and take. Guru points to the north and says, there is your Gandhara, there is Om. Om is a name, and Om is just a name, is a word for Brahman. It is not even a word that describes Brahman. What is it? A word that implies Brahman. Satyam Jnanam Anantam, it's not the intrinsic definition of Brahman. What is it? Intrinsic implication of by which Brahman is understood, implied words by which Brahman is understood. That is how it is pointed out. So by the words, that Mahavakya that points to the truth, which is nameless, formless, and which cannot be reached really because it is non-separate from oneself, you feel away from it because of your own ajnanam. So the pointing takes away the distance, and so therefore the person is pointed towards the north, where Gandhara is. Gandhara is your own Swarupa. Sat Swarupa is Gandhara. Then Bandhan Mokshitaha Gramat Gramantaram Prichan. So going from village to village, from one village to another village, going. Who is this? Panditaha. Because by this Pandaha Asya Asti iti. Panda means Atmajnanam. Panditaha. So the one who has self-knowledge is called Panditaha. Upadeshavan. Upadeshavan. So one who has Upadesha. Acharyavan ityarthaha. So the one who has Upadesha, the one who is freshly taught, who is that? Medhavi. So Para Upadishta Grama Praveshaha. So taught by the teachers, the one who has reached Gandhara. So, Marga Avadharana Samartha, the one who has the capacity, Samartha, the capacity, who is Kushalaha, Nipunaha, the one who has the brilliance to know which is the correct way to understand Brahman. How to abide in my own nature, how to assimilate this knowledge. Already he knows, she knows. This is the person who was rescued by the Guru and then given the teaching and put in the right direction from where there is no return, there is no going back. Why? The person is Viveki, Buddhiman, Panditaha, Medhavi, and Medhavi is beautifully is unfolded. Para Upadishtaha, Grama Praveshaha. So, taught by the teacher, instructed by the teacher, the person is capable of understanding the path of how to enter this village, how to enter my home, how to know my own Swarupa, the person who is Marga Avadharana Samartha, who is capable of that. So, Marga Avadharana Samartha san Gandharan eva upasampadyeta. Only that person will reach the destination. And Adi Shankara can't resist showing what will happen if one is not Medhavi, not Panditaha, not Acharyavan. What will happen to them? Na sampadyeta. Itaraha. Itaraha means other than this. Other than this, na itaraha. Who is that? Mudha matihi. Mudha matihi. Yasya saha mudha matihi. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja. That same one. Okay. Mudhamate, vocative. Here is Mudhamatihi. Mudha Matihi Yasya Saha. So the one whose Mati, whose Buddhi is what? Deluded. Deluded as to priorities. Wants everything. Does not know how to wants everything, plus also wants moksha. Can I enjoy some? They will have this kind of a question. Can I enjoy samsara while enjoying moksha? This is the kind of question. They don't understand that if you choose Shreyas, Preyas comes along for free. Because Shreyas being limitless includes Preyas or not? Yes. The limitless, does it include the limited or not? Yes. So if you choose moksha, all the things you want are included. That's why it is said, Sarvan Kaman Samashnute. All the things are included in your moksha. Even chocolate cake? Even chocolate cake. Everything you want is included because chocolate cake, finite, and going on holiday here, finite, going there, finite, wanting this, finite, this object, finite, that object, finite, this relationship, finite, that relationship, finite, this person, finite, this body, finite. And all the finite has to be included in what? The limitless. So really, this is the clue here. This is the beauty to understand. If you choose Shreyas, Preyas, meaning all the things you love and you find delectable comes for free. You don't have to be Preyorthi. You don't have to work for Preyas. You work for Shreyas. Preyas is free. Buy one, get one free. Oh, you have made it very easy for me. Now I'm going to go for Preyas and hope Shreyas comes for free. Will it? No. Shreyas is jealous, okay? Yeah. Shreyas is everything. So when you want everything, when you want the truth of everything, all the little things are included in everything. If you choose one little thing, then everything is not included in the little things. This is what we have to see. And therefore, here, the Mudhamatihi is the one who cannot discern that. Even though one is told, moksha is the best, east or west, then the person listens to that and then what? then goes about the day feeling untethered, unmoved, feeling a sense of lack, taking the sense of lack to be real, and trying to address the sense of lack through acquisition of more and more things, people, situation, etc. Having acquired them, then the fellow is worried about how to get rid of them because he doesn't get along with any one of them, and all the objects of like turn into what? Dislike. Very soon they turn into objects of dislike. Why? Because they are not fulfilling what you really want. That's why it turns into object of dislike. So, na itaraha moodhamatihi. So, moodhamatihi, what does he do? He or she deshantara darshana tridva. Trid means trishaha. Trishau, trishaha. So, trid means is Trishna, Trishnavan. So, Trish means longing. So, Trid means at the end of a compound means the one who has the longing. So, who is that? That Deshantara Trid means the one who has wanderlust. Desha, place. Antara, another place. Another place than my own home. Deshantara Trid, the wanderlust, the one who has a longing to keep going from place to place to place, from thing to thing to thing, from person to person to person, from object to object to object, from relationship to relationship to relationship, and finally from ashram to ashram to ashram to ashram until exhaustion takes over. Dissatisfied. Oh, but I want to go there. Why you want to go there? There they teach me how to stand on my head. Please do that, okay? We never discourage anything that gives blood supply to the brain. Yeah. Please stand on the head 24/7, 365. Nothing wrong. But you have to get the basic understanding. What is the basic understanding? What keeps me from myself is what? Ajnanam. Ajnanam keeps me from myself, my own not knowing. Otherwise, I am with myself. This is what you have to understand. Before that, you can do whatever you want as a sadhana to get ready for the knowledge. After the knowledge, you can do whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. But the person who doesn't understand that this place is my home, home for them is uncomfortable because they don't know the truth of the home, what this home means. Home is lonely because they are not used to being with themselves. Home is not the place to be because I miss the drama. That is the thing. People like drama. They will say, I like samsara because ashram is too quiet. Everybody goes to bed at 8 o'clock. Yeah, what kind of a place is this? No night life. And no nothing there at all. And the quietude of the ashram is coming to eat me. This is not my home. Once in a while we need conflict. But then you tell them, why do you need so much conflict? No, once in a while. Otherwise, how will I know I am loved? If I don't fight with you and then make up with you, then only I know you care. This is how people think. People think there should be some conflict because that's how their growing up surroundings were. Full of conflict. And so they want the same drama. Even in the ashram, they want drama. They feel lonely even if they are taken to Om, hand held by the Guru and put there. This is Om, this is you, even if that were possible. And even if they are repatriated with the truth of themselves, they will say, where is drama? So what does therefore a mumukshu have to do? Drop the D. What happens when you drop the D from drama? All that is left is Rama. Seek Rama, not drama. And so here, this person is a dramavan. Okay, dramavan means drama asya asti. So this is this dramavan. What he also goes gramat gramantaram. Why? Because of deshantara darshana trid. Because of the Trishna to go from place to place. Why is there this longing? Because no place I feel at home. I'm still searching, 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 going here, going there, moving here, moving there. Some people are like that. They just like to get up and move. They get bored. And boredom is a sure sign of getting ready for moksha, really. Next time you're bored, think about it. Yeah. That means nothing satisfied. That is boredom. If you are quickly bored, that means nothing is satisfying. I have to address this Trishna, the Trishna of being repatriated to myself. That is what I have to address. If I don't address that, it will become Deshantara Darshana Trishna. That is what will happen. So, yatha ayam drishtantah varnitah, just as we are shown this example, what is that? Svavishayebhyah gandharebhyah purushah taskaraihi abhinadhakshah avivekah dingmoodhah ashanaya pipasadiman. Here comes that, what is that? That passage without full stop. So we have to stop here to understand, because the whole thing is one sentence, because Adi Shankara in his urgency is telling this. So, yatha ayam drishtantah varnitah. Just like this example has been unfolded. So, now the darshtanta Adi Shankara has taken in his hands to unfold. What happens? Svavishayebhyah. From Svavishayebhyah means from his own self. From his own self and the place of comfort, which is what? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam are the Vishayas for whom? No more are this little thing I want, that one I want, this one I have to get rid of, that one I have to go away from. That is not the aim. So Svavishaya here is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So from that Brahman, Gandhare, represented by Gandhara, Gandharebhyah, another reason why it is plural, because Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So Purushaha, this person, Taskaraihi, by the robbers, Abhinadhakshaha, bound by the robbers, bound in the eyes, bound in the hand. Avivekaha. So avivekaha means devoid of discrimination. Avivekaha, dingmoodhaha, lost the sense of direction. Ashanayadi man, ashanaya pipasadi man. So subject to what? Ashana. What is ashana? Desire to eat. Hunger. What is pipasa? Desire to drink. Thirst. So thirsty and hungry, because naturally in the example the whole day he was working, and from work he was going home and he was set upon by robbers. Thirsty, hungry, tired. And so here also the jiva, thirsty and hungry, because all the time looking for Brahman. It's Brahma Trishna and it is not recognized, so it becomes Vishaya Trishna. It morphs into Vishaya Trishna. So, because they don't know how to direct it towards Brahma Trishna, they don't know. And so, therefore, Ding Moodha, Taskaraihi, so Aviveki, Ding Moodha, Asanayadi, Man, then what happens? Vyagra, Taskaradi, Aneka Bhaya, Anartha Vivrata Yuta. Vrata Yuta. So, who is this person? This person is subject to hunger, subject to thirst, and then and subject to other dangers. What are the other dangers? Vyagra. What is Vyagra? Tiger, Taskara, thief, thieves. Tigers, Adi Padat, other things. Snakes are there, so many things are there. Creepy crawlies are there in the forest. Vultures are there. And they also think, maybe this person, see, the person in the forest is playing dead because has been biffed and bound. And what does the vulture think? Ooh, yeah, this is mine, because the person has gone. The vulture also starts circling this person. So these are all, and the person is bound, unable to save himself, and is looking upon with fear at all the things that are thinking Swiggy has come to them. The vultures, the lions, the tigers, they say, room service, home delivery. This person has delivered himself unto us. And so, therefore, what? And not only that, anartha vrata yutam, anartha vrata yutam means endowed with all kinds of dangers, so many other dangers. Snakes falling out of trees, all these things are there. And then biting things, so many the dashakas are there. These things which bite are there. And then so all of these, anartha vivrata, favorite word of Adi Shankara, favorite phrase, a host of all kinds of horrible things. Anartha vrata yutam aranyam praveshitaha. This is how the person is thrown in the forest. Entering the forest, what happens? Dukkhartaha. Afflicted by sorrow. Naturally, who wants to be in this situation? Nobody. Afflicted by sorrow. Vikroshan. Crying out loudly, complaining. Bandhanebhyaha mumukshuhu tishtati. The mumukshu is lying there. How? Bandhanebhyaha vikroshan. So the one who is lying there is the mumukshu, crying aloud. Why? Because of wanting to be free of this bondage. Crying like that. Then Kathanchideva, by some miracle, by some punya working over time, Karunikena, Karunikena, Kenachit Mokshitaha, by somebody unknown to that person, Kenachit, by someone there who was passing along, passerby, Mokshitaha, freed. The person was what? Finally freed. And then Swadeshan Gandharan Eva Apannaha Nirvritaha Sukhi Abhut. So the person becomes happy. Why? Has been repatriated to his own place. So too the mumukshu is happy. Why? Freed of the bondage of thinking, I am finite, I am limited, I am an idiot, iti. The person can finally go home. So this is the nirvritaha means freed. And then what happens? Reaching his own place, the person, here we can truly say, lived happily ever after. In all the fairy tales we hear, lived happily ever after, it's a lie. Yes. That's why they are called Grimm's fairy tales, because the ending is really grim. For the chota bachas, for the small children, we say, yeah, they lived happily ever after. The prince and the princess got married and lived happily ever after. It's a lie. What is the truth? They started to fight the very next day. And then after that, after a few years, they got divorced. This is the reality, okay? Yeah. If Atmagyanam is not there, if Atmagyanam, self-knowledge is there, no problem. Here, therefore, here is the only place where you can say, gaining one's being at home with oneself, I live happily ever after. Yes, that I can do. Because why? I am the ever after. That is why. Ever after is not a condition, is not conditionally dependent upon a person, a place, a situation, a time. No. Ever after, being myself, being the truth of myself, I am happily abiding in the ever after. Therefore, I live happily ever after. What after you die? That's what this is. That death is for what? Body, mind, sense complex, not for I. So I continue to, even after dropping of the body, I continue to live happily ever after. And then Evameva satah. So now he unfolds this in his own way. Adi Shankara, we will see that. So evameva satah jagadatma swarupat tejo bannadimayam deharanyam pravishati. We have to add pravishati. So evameva, in this manner, what happens? What is the forest? The forest is this body. The Sharira is the forest. idam shariram kaunteya kshetramityabhidhiyate. 13th chapter begins like this. Idam shariram. That which is known by the word idam, this is all what? Always something that can be objectified. This body that I can see with all the 5 sense organs, I can see this body is a kshetra, a field of experience. And who are you? Kshetrajna, the knower of this field. But if I take myself to be the field, what happens? I am miserable. I am totally miserable if I take myself to be the field. What am I? Field gyaha, the knower of the field. I am not the field at all. And so here, evameva sataha, this being the case, jagadatma swarupat, from the sat, which is what? The atma of the entire jagat. Sarvatma bhavena, Sarvatma bhavat ityarthaha. From this Sarvatma bhava, from this oneness, from this Sat, which is the truth of the entire Jagat, which is the Atma of the entire Jagat, then Swarupat Tejo Bannadimayam. So Teja up Annadimayam. Teja fire, up water, Annam food. These are the 3 elements, earth, water and fire, that are discussed in this particular chapter. Whereas in the Taittiriya Upanishad, all 5 elements are discussed. So that does not mean the Upanishad is contradictory. That just means that it doesn't matter how many elements. We have to see what are the elements being used for, to show what. To show 2 things. One is that everything has come from Sat, be it 3 elements, be it 5 elements, be it the table of elements, the elemental table in chemistry, how many ever there are, be it all of them have come from what? Sat. This is the first point. Second point is that this is what the matter of the Jagat is constituted by these 3, 5, 7, how many ever elements you want to see. But then the one who is abiding in this Jagat does not belong to the Jagat. So the Jagat is samhata, the body also is samhata, assembled. It's an assemblage for who? For the one who is asamhata, not put together. The Atma, I am not part of the assemblage. I am not part of the just like I am not part of my house. I am not the window, I am not the door. I am the one who has done griha pravesham. I have entered the house. Why have I entered the house? In order to enjoy, in order to conduct my affairs, my business. I have entered the house. Similarly, the Atma has, as though, entered this house of this body, mind, sense complex, but it is not part of the body, mind, sense complex, to show that the 5 elements, 3 elements are given. These 2 we have to keep it very, very, very clear. So, Tejaha, up. Annam, Annadi, Mayam. Mayam here, Vikaram. So Vikara Jatam. So that which is born of the Vikara of the Sukshma elements. And then in turn, they are also what? Subject to various changes. You see the wind, one day it is fierce, another day it's not there. Virtually not there. Some days it is, it is hot, cold, like this, all this. You see, fire also undergoes change. And then to become fire, then up, water also undergoes change. And annam, food, undergoes change. And everything that comes out of the 3 elements are also what? Undergoing change. So the Deha is Aranyam. Deha is the forest. Deha is the forest. Why? Here he will go on a rampage. This is Adi Shankara at his best. Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Rudhira, Meda, Medaha, Mamsa, Asthi, Majja, Shukra, Krimi, Mutra, Purisha, Avachannaha. So this avachat shita, he's not done yet. Okay, so we'll stop here. So because this is too much to take in, and it's depressing also. So so why end on a depressive note, so that we can come back and be cheered up tomorrow? That's why. Okay, so what is this? Why is this called Aranya? Because it's full of imbalances and surprises. What is a forest? Full of surprise, correct? You don't go to a forest thinking that I know the layout of this forest. The GPS of the forest is in my head. Left turn for Vyagra, right turn, this Simha. You don't do that. You don't know. Suddenly, leaped. And then you are taken aback. All the time you are surprised, surprised, surprised. Therefore, this body is also just what? A bunch of surprises. I was feeling very good, and then suddenly I don't feel good, so no more. What happened? I don't know. Why don't you get tested? I went to 10 doctors. What happened? They also don't know. All the tests come back normal. Still I am like this. So this is body is full of surprises. Why? Because the three elements, the body also has three elements. What are the three elements? Vata, Pitta, Kapha, like Tejaha, up, Annam. These are outside elements. Inside also there are three things which cause havoc. You can't go out in the wind without putting half a kilo of cotton in each ear. Why? The vata is deranged. And then pitta. Now you go to the dining hall and you just hug the buckets which have boiled vegetables and dal without any seasoning. That's all you can eat. Because anything spicy, even by mistake, if they put a little bit, one small chilli escapes and goes in, then you are somewhere else. Out of body experience you have. Okay? Kapha again means you can't eat so many things. You can't eat sweet things. You can't eat fattening things. You can't eat fried things. Alas, only those things you love. Okay? So this is the body afflicted in this manner. This is the kind of body that we are occupying. If it is not a forest, what else is it? It is also made up of all kinds of other components. What are they? Meda, fat, mamsa, muscles. And then after a while you have to ask, where is mamsa? Where are the muscles? You don't know. They are hidden somewhere. And then asthi, bones, majja, bone marrow, shukra, reproductive material. And then up till now it's okay because this is just describing the anatomy. Now it takes a downhill turn. And then what is that? Krimi, full of bacteria. Yes. Some good, mostly what? Not good. Lung is full of bacteria, intestines are full of bacteria, stomach is full of bacteria, everywhere bacteria. And bacteria, we have to include viruses also. Virus, bacteria, all these things are there, and then they are not going away. Oh, what about antibiotics? Yeah, they just go on a holiday with antibiotics. Or they go into hibernation with antibiotics. You finish the antiviral, you finish the antibiotic, and the next generation is ready to take revenge for their ancestors. And that's why they don't leave. It's their ancestral property. You came yesterday. It is their ancestral property. That's why they say, we are not going. Occupation is 9/10 of ownership. So therefore, we are here to stay. You do whatever you want. My name is Amoeba. I'm not going. Yes. You can see the doctors. You can, lifelong, you can be on some medicine. No problem. I'm not going anywhere. So, krimi. Krimi means this is what krimi is. Purisha, mutra purisha means all the excreta, and all this, all the waste. And then, so then all this. And then what is that? It is also accompanied by so many other things. And so that we don't get more depressed, let us close the class here and then take it up tomorrow. Tonight we will have satsang. 4 o'clock class is also there. Last satsang tonight. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ